It's not my fault your life is miserable. I'm just telling my truth. You can try to copy and pretend and fake it, and you gonna embarrass yourself in the long run because honestly, I know fake people. I know when a person is being authentic. I don't have to just because you're faking it. I don't have to like acknowledge it at the time. I don't have to let you know I know you faking and you full of shit. And you can't get mad at me for not telling you that. Press one. You really mad that I don't believe you and never did? Either one of your little stupid characters? You're not throwing anybody off? You know, your jealousy comes through the camera, stupid. Your jealousy comes through the camera, Jimmy. That's why you always fucking lost. You know, I got a great program ahead of me. You can call me all types of names, peanut head, all that. And press one, I've been called all that my whole life, Jimmy. It mean nothing. Nothing. Does no damage whatsoever. In fact, I've done a whole 20, 30 minutes just based off of overcoming traumatized narcissist assholes on the internet. Use you as a stepping leverage into a new conversation. Because it's people can learn from individuals like you. As I told y'all need to go watch that movie Surrogate. He's a person who thinks the internet is real. This man probably whole life has been turned into shambles. And he probably can't even face reality because it's so horrible. If I step out right now, then people gonna say, "What's up, Kev?" There about 5 people outside, all of them men, all of them former gangbangers and all that. They gonna say, "Oh, what up, nigga?" I can do it right now. You don't have no love in your life. You don't have people in your life that loves you because you don't love yourself. You're not showing no progress. Press one. You ain't showing no progress. If you do a crime, the judge is gonna sentence you to a harsh sentence because they tired of talking to you looking ass. When the judge see me and he gonna read my paperwork and he gonna say, "Oh shit, Mr. Gillespie, oh damn it. What are y'all saying he did this time?" Well, that's different. What the motherfuckers y'all the motherfucking fucking with him for? He ain't did nothing ever. Bruh, one. You see, Ollie? My name good, Ollie. He ain't did nothing ever. And that don't even make sense. The way they sit down with you is different from when they sit down with me. Press one, they sit down with me like, "Kev, we know it was self-defense, goddammit. But, you know, man, we sorry. Just take these off now. Quit playing with me." You read his record? That's right. I ain't talking till I get my attorney. You know, we just handle life different. Your life ain't like mine. Stop trying to include yourself. People don't thank you for doing things for them. They don't even gotta thank me. And I know I did something great. I leave better. I wake people up in the morning. Let's say I go out to eat. The 2 tables next to me gonna be laughing, and them over there, and them over there, and everybody's gonna have a great time. Facts. With you, you hide from people. You're afraid to speak in life. You're all this God. You're St. Thomas, but in real life, you're some coward behind a keyboard, some mentally ill person with fat feet and ankles, and you're probably overweight. You're probably disgusting. You probably smell bad. You probably got like worms. You probably stink. You probably are not is not appealing. You probably are not using your vessel and in the highest probabilities of usage. You ain't doing nothing in your life. You can't get mad at Kev. You can't get mad at me, brother. I'm teaching about science now. You know? We talking about Sputnik and shit. We talk about Sputnik. You can't get mad. I'm not meant to stay in religious conversations. Don't get mad because you can't come. You may not have did well in the religious talk, but you did great in science. I don't know. But when you spend your time being fake and trying to be somebody else, it's really gonna show. You feel me? But that goes along with the program of what we're discussing here today. So I'm glad y'all are having these like mental breaks because they were helping me. But I already knew they weren't doing anything. I was mentally mind fucking them. I had them thinking that I was naive to their tactics. I'm sorry, y'all. Nah, I played naive all the way down this one. I mean, I figure if I do it in front of y'all, it'll make more sense. Now they can't take it. They know we're around because they're afraid of me. Nah, they been gang stalking me forever. They scared of y'all calling their ass out. Press one. What was St. Thomas made for, family? What's his position in history? Okay? Y'all ready for this? This nigga, this shit precise. When I cut, niggas like old pimps from 1930s and 40s, they don't make me cut you. How you get cut fucking with me? Been on through a punch and all your face been on got cut up fucking with Kev. I just want to show y'all. Okay? I don't have to make up no rap lyrics, no bars, no nothing. Okay, let's go to the Britannica. Can we do that? Okay, St. Thomas. Okay, I'm gonna let the class understand. This is historic, fool. This ain't happened in the past. So let me tell you something who you is, St. Thomas. St. Thomas was famous for having doubted the resurrection of Jesus and for demanding physical proof of the wounds of Christ's crucifixion. You're just a doubtful, disbeliever spirit of the past, and you'll never change. You hear me, demon? You just a doubtful, do another backflip ass nigga for me. Please prove more and more and more. Okay, I finally believe. Oh, no, I don't. Oh, no, I don't. See? This is you. So this is easy. This is how you know who you are. I don't have to tell you nothing. The girls is beating you up. This is the ladies finding this. See? You talk about the word so much to put on a false light and a false persona, and you get all your light from me. You're a stolen valor. That's why when you call in, I'm gonna get all your speech patterns from my show, and all you gonna do is worship me, punk. I'm gonna play them all because I remember you. I remember you talk, Kevin. Every one of your words that's gonna come out your mouth. That's what the ladies gonna. You gonna get on your bow on your damn knees. That's what you've been doing the whole time, kissing ass instead of doing homework. Kissing ass instead of doing homework. Bag back and give me 50 feet. You're not talking about anything specific. You're not talking about artificial intelligence before me. You're not talking about nothing. You sending me photos of the sun, and now you're trying to make some sense of the good. Go teach, but don't talk about me in a bad light when all of your information comes from me. I inspire you, punk, because that's all you is a regular bedroom typing clerical punk. That's what you are. You're good for nothing. Like the Cowboys. The Cowboys used to say that. You good for nothing. You ain't good for nothing. You ain't even useful for yourself. You feel me? You ain't even useful to yourself. I make a living off of what I say and do in real life. You don't even got a forklift license, punk. You don't even know how to speak correctly. You on SSI trying to battle me, big head. Press 1. You can't battle me and you get a check from the state. Let me make this fucking clear. You can't compete with me if the state hands you any damn thing. You might well go back it up and go back home and don't say nothing to me. That's facts, bro. I make a living off of my words. That means my words are valuable. Like Tupac say, nigga, that's one of the biggest blessings. Nigga, I take words in my thought process and turn that shit into solid gold and pull cash out so I can buy me some more video games and production equipment. Nigga, if you don't get your ass up and get out of here, I use my words to do that. Everything you see, nigga, they're my words. That's how potent this shit is. let me talk my shit. No, let me be proud of Kev, because ain't nobody gonna pat you on the back. They're my words. Yeah, I said it. I make a living off my words, and you talking for nothing. Punk. My words. And my foundation is God in the Bible. And you a hater. Press 1. I look this great because of my words. Press 1. This fresh Tommy Hilfiger. You ain't even seen this yet. Press 1. Words. This right here. Words. Words. These is words, nigga. This is words. All this is words, stupid. This is words, fool. This is words. My nigga, all this shit. This is words, my nigga. This is words. I'm a delegate, stupid. Fuck is you talking about? I'm important. If you don't get your ass back out there in that field right there, you know who you talking to, boy? I said words. You feel me? Who you talking to? Words, nigga. Thin air. Out, nigga. Don't make me do it. Oh, baby, do it. Stupid. Words. So you the only one playing in your life, not me. I have nothing to do with why your life is miserable. Press 1. I don't know why you don't do what you actually are good at and actually make a living doing it. I don't know why, bro. Oh, no. That ain't my fault. I can lead you to the lake, but I can't make you drink. You know, everybody's not doing as bad as you guys. There's no we. We all independent here. Everybody got jobs and we all got regular work. But teamwork make the dream work. That's the thing about it. All that do is just everybody really in real life doing things. My supporters are really, you feel me? Out in real life. Y'all wasn't my only supporters. Oh, we gonna get them this way. Y'all were just hidden enemies and you thought you had one. But I ain't going. I'm not looking for no fame. I'm not looking for no fortune. I just need enough to make my day. Press 1. I'm not in no rush to do nothing. I'm not, my discipline, I'm not just a wasteful person. You know? That's the real meaning of my word is bond. There we go. See, Tracy? It means something. It amounts to something. Your words don't amount to nothing. When you talk, it don't amount to anything, punk. Because that's what you are, a punk. Your words don't amount to nothing. And then you didn't use your hands to learn to trade and do nothing. You trying to be me. Hit that like button. Man, that's how you gotta embarrass these boys. Whole show. This is about AI. This is about artificial intelligence. You see, when I speak, it means something. I didn't know my words were that important. I ain't graduate no school, but guess what? Now, my words mean something. Press one. God didn't raise me up correctly. I'm never in no rush. I am a little impatient, but I'm never in no rush. I'm never late. I'm on nobody's time but God's time. You can't get mad at that because you didn't figure it out yourself. I'm walking in my light. There's millions of other YouTubers you can go listen to. I'm walking in my light. Just because I'm proving in my mindset that it was all a lie from history, man versus machine, the Deuce X, AI, the Grand Machine. You mad because of that stuff. You mad because you can't keep up. You mad because you can't break this stuff down to the people the way it's supposed to be, to where it's relatable. See, you guys are not relatable. See, y'all missed the key opponent. You're not relatable. Therefore, people get bored and tired when y'all talk about these things. People can't understand you because you want to tell it all at one time and force it down people's necks. And please believe me. And I'm having a conversation. See, that's different. Yeah, I'm right. Yeah, I know. But everybody don't know. And I don't want to come off as a chauvinist or I'm better than the next person. So I'm adjusting as my audience adjusts. I'm learning and I'm taking my own advice. You don't get a chance to see that. Me up at 2, 3, 4 in the morning, trying to mentally prep on how I want my class to perceive that. You're not there. You know what you're doing when it's that early in California? Let me tell you what you're doing. Why you think I'll be up already when you text me? Because I'll be working. You're not up at that time. I'm naturally like this, bro. And nobody can take that away from me, and nobody can take, like, people watching in the audience. Nobody can take that from you. You are who you are. I am who I am. They are who they are. But I ride like this. And just because I gave you a little life on the internet, you don't became a whole little demonic little thing. Remember, you here. I'm not forcing you to be here, Rico, or whatever your goofy ass name is, whatever personality you want to be in. Cause I'm not gonna lose. I don't lose. How could I lose? And I'm up here doing wonderful work. We up here talking about the world fairs. I'm talking about it was all fake. Sputnik, the Cold War, all of it. All this stuff was going on in the 1920s, 30s, 40s, 50s, especially the 40s and 50s. And this space race is going on. Listen to me, Ali. Watch this stepping stool. And this space race, communistic war is going on. World fairs is going on over here, Ali. Press one. I'm saying, how are these world wars going on? I asked this question. But everybody at peace in America. By way of the world fairs, in which this becomes a whole covert, ideological, subverted attack on the black people of this nation by way of carnival and music and entertainment. A whole massacre has went on in disguise as some form of KKK, or this was some form of white superior. This was the KKK before. You know, y'all have freedom and stuff like this. But I've always thought, how does the Cold War in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, all this atomic conversation is going on over there, but they all friends here. What's going on here? Total destruction. And then synthetic druggings by these same people. So I began to realize this whole NASA project was a cover-up. They're saying they didn't really go to the moon. They was fighting against Russia in the space race. But we found out that wasn't true here at KevRow University, because they both was using a metal satellite to talk to each other. Press one. We found out that wasn't true, classroom. You see? That's a lie. There was no space race. There was just total communication and CIA and Russian intelligence on the subversion tactical advancements that was going on here in the Americas. I was trying to figure out how the Buffalo Soldiers was wearing Russian garments. Then we fucked around and found out. That's why they don't like me. Because I test my hypothesis with my audience live on the air. This is not a YouTube page, nigga. On the air. And then we prove it. And that's where the aha moment come from. Like, damn. We not only theoretically say it and converse about it, we put it to the test and find the evidence to support our historical theories in a scientific manner. Hey, punk, sit up in your seat, Rico. You ain't noticed yet, clown? I'm playing with this shit. This is nothing to me, bro. I got so much to say. This is my. If the X-Men had therapy, nigga, please hear me out. You know, don't hate me, bro. So it was all atomic warfare, destruction, hydro bombs being dropped on African Americans, in my theory. Going back into the black genocide, they were dropping those Sputnik-looking and balloons flying around, and hot air balloons and them big missile balloons. They was dropping them damn things. Go back to the war. They got them. And they was dropping. And you know what they had in there, Tracy? I'm guessing plutonium. And then when it got down to a certain degree, it'll go poof, and spray the whole town with mustard gas, pesticides. You see? As soon as it come out the air, get them out a good 100 feet up, 1,000 feet up, poof. Remember we were saying, why are they saying they're flying spaceships at 1,000 feet? Well, and them rockets that was shooting off into space, yeah, those was guerrilla launcher rockets shooting into black communities from a distance. And they recorded it as history. That's why I said the Nazis won the World War II. Because you let them fool you with the Nazi propaganda, and you didn't see the Russian czars. You didn't see them as the American government. The Russian czars and the Russians are the ones who were the Americans. They was in direct contact with them. Sputnik. In fact, the Russians named it the friendly Sputnik. All this was done to overthrow the true Americans, the true people, the true freedmen, banks, and all that. That was a whole seizure propaganda. All that stuff they said that they did in the Diary of Anne Frank, that happened to us. And I'm not here to fool around. What did we also find out? We also found out right here at KevRow University that they were running underground. There have been underground telecommunications with phones and television before they even created these satellites. These satellite wires and these transatlantic communications um, things have been in the water since uh, shit, all of the 1800s, 1900s, and because you were born within their Aryan superiority complex, you don't think that the people who was here before them had ways of communication by way of telephone, and electricity and wireless connection. Something is wrong with you. You're in an Aryan white supremacist mindset. You are in fact Clayton Bigsby. You ain't doing your research. You're just taking it on the surface. You're not mentally making the connections. These things have been on in the works a very long time. Y'all said y'all wanted to find the supercomputer and where it all goes and the architect and all it is. But I'm getting nothing but distractions. And I love when people just fall off like old snakeskin. You know, they just fall off themselves. I'm an eagle. I fly at heights little pigeons cannot fly. Press one. I fly at I fly at a height that these pigeons cannot fly. Press one. Mm-mm. I only flap around 2, 3 times, take it real slow, and observe everything. These cable wires been underground for years. You know, years. So we're going back into the original machine. Deus ex machina translate into the Latin in Latin as the God from the machines. Didn't I tell y'all about the vagrants and the Marxist movements of the early 1900s, late 1800s in Gillespie, Chicago? And the motto behind them, they were all union workers. They're described in history as an army because they are an army, but they're unionized workers. Remember, they kept you out the union. You weren't able to work. And then they set up vagrant laws naturally, and it just naturally overthrew you. So we're talking engineers, those who create and work for the machine. You talking about machine manufacturing? All of this began, you feel me? Early 1918, late 1800, 1900s. We saw it on the video, the different pipelines in which these lines actually go through the salt water and the oceans of the world, and it's a fine layout, if you ask me. But why they trying to pretend like they went to space and put up all these damn satellites when this great thing is still in use today, and we use this for the internet and still telephones? Your shit don't come from satellites. Your shit come from this shit right here. So what's all the space jargon about? Well, the space shit is the original cover-up of the mass genocide that happened here in America, in my opinion. You hear me, Tracy? Nothing they did was real. The Russians really didn't go to space. They didn't really go to space. What was it all for? Well, what was going on at the time? The rape and pillage of the Freeman Banks and the overthrow of all of these different towns, these black estates. The American Red Cross came in and put these people in concentration camps. Press one. J.P. Morgan and Carnegie helped transport troops, guns, and militia all over America through the Route 66 pipeline where they invaded. This is all white people invaded, and blacks from foreign lands, Africans, French, Africorps, Moors, and overthrew the original blacks, the original African Americans, the freedmen's who were placed, whose names were taken and stripped from them, like the Bible say. Oh, it didn't happen way back then. Oh no, that's a prophecy book. I'm just here to break it down correctly, little Rico. No, it didn't happen, St. Thomas. You are St. Thomas. Press one. That's you. It's a prophetic book written for and by FUBU. Ain't got nothing to do with you, Rico. This book is written for those who can understand and those who are able to translate it correctly. That's it. And there's only one, Rico. So stop playing because you think I'm some urban person like you. Okay? So these things are still in use. These cables, these wireless cables, these wire extensions are still in use over the world. So don't say you came up with this, Rico, because this is a student. Press one who did their homework and they not finished. I'm just breaking it down. This is all 1800s. Undersea cables for transmitting telegraph signals. Which inundated the invention of the telephone. The first undersea telegraph cable was laid in 1850 between England and France. Look at that. Look at that. And when you say English, England, you're talking about the English. I don't know who told us this history, bro, but I feel like this is us. The Atlantic was spanned in 1858 between Ireland and Newfoundland. This is all the King's land. The cables insultation failed and it had to be abandoned. Lie, because why? We're still using these cables to this day. They need to convince you, in my opinion, that those cables are abandoned because it'll validate the space program. But when you look at the space program of the time, everything was faked. Only thing that was real was Sputnik. So I'm not the one who just sit in something that's fake. You begin to think this shit is real. Like, well, you start talking around individuals. Man, you didn't know that's not. Or you didn't get the report. Man, you gotta do your research, man. It's not real. There's something called a submarine cable. I want to bring this up on the screen as well. See, all of this was like underwater. These cables are like underwater, bro. And that's why I'm understanding it all leads back. All these cables will lead back to what and who? Especially if they stole the system. In my opinion, this is just that'd be going back to the king of the AI. That'd be going right back to all roads lead to where? Rome, Europe. They established these connections and they overthrew. Reverse history a little bit. Not too much, but enough to convince whole civilizations that, oh well, Europe was really the place where things were formed, and Europe and France made an alliance, and the King of England was just a terrible person, and he ran the Americas and stuff like that, and then the people had to revolt with the help of the French, and this is how they tell the story, and you don't exist within this false sense of timeline, and you got to accept that. That's reality. Where are you? Well, you know where you was in your brain with your holographic memory self. You're gonna say, "Oh, we must have been on a slave boat in Africa, coming from. We must have been in North Africa being transported, and on the back of a hippopotamus and an elephant. They had us stringed up, and then they sold us. So while all this was going on, you specifically, your bloodline goes where? To Africa, huh? They want you to think they're the English. That why they don't understand simple English? Why don't they comprehend the way a true Englishman would? If they knew the basic freedoms, I mean, if they knew, what's at stake and knew what they were fighting against, the English, then they will be patriots. But you're not a patriot, and nor are you an English. You is a slave, Neo, and you afraid, Rico. You a slave, a mental slave, and afraid to think outside that little holographic mindset that you got. And come to my class and send me bad messages about you. This ain't about you, boy. This is about the students learning new things and not afraid to take a shot at a different mindset. That's all. A different theory of their own. Somebody got to be able to explain why we ain't got shit correctly. Not here in debate. Come to my class, learn my language, and learn my style, and then say, Kev, I want to do battle. This ain't no Pokemon show. You're not finna use me against me. I'm gonna make a fool out of you. This whole time we're talking about branches. We're talking about space ain't real. We're talking about this. I even told you God real. I even told you they replace it to God. And why is God and God real, and what the fallen angel in it? You see how they scattered? All they do is say God, 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 God. And they, accusers, God, 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 and they. You got this chump talking about you. Talking about me. I'm the host of the show. I'm the professor in the classroom doing the teaching. Every day in and day out. You're not going to say a word. Every time I get a chance, I'm going to think about you and the rest of these clowns with their compartmentalized personality disorders. Anytime I feel like you make an example out of one of you, I am. FYI, read the small print. I'm going to make an example out of you. That's for sure. So anyway, telegrams and stuff like that deals with siphon, or the siphon recorder, which is an obsolete electromechanical device used as a receiver for submarine telegraph cables, invented by William Thomson, first Baron Kelvin, in 1868. And if you know what a Kelvin is, or a Kev in science, you got a problem. In 1868, it automatically records an incoming telegraph, sends a message as a wiggling ink line on a roll of paper. So it's kind of like the Morse code and stuff like that. That wasn't in Morse code. That was all dealing with telegraphs. Later, a trained telegrapher will read the tape, translating the pulses representing the dots and dashes of the Morse code to characters of a text message. So you realize it was a form of communication. So our job is to find the connections between Russia and America. But the good thing about this classroom is that today's a new day. It's 5/1/2024, and we're on an equal playing field. Ain't nobody better than nobody. Remember, I already exposed everything. So when you're making these connections from Russia to the Americas, in which this country was created off of, you'll be able to break it down and see it from a different perspective. They use Sputnik, and they're all an invading army, and they're all what? Aryans. The point is to prove, not say, prove you're in a Aryan-based society. Okay? This is KevRow. This ain't nobody. You're in an Aryan. You were raised to be an Aryan, but you're not an Aryan. You was raised to be a good person, a good boy in an Aryan-based society. And all Aryans claim white in status. Press 1. First and foremost, all Aryans claim white in status, giving them sovereignty from their former. See how this works? Cells. It's a this isn't about race or color lines. This is about just the truth. Now, there's a lot of blacks who claim white as a status and played a role as a black person in America. Those are Aryans as well. Press 1. Black Lives Matter, Marxists, right? Propaganda, we did the test, come back, money laundering scheme by Aryans. Aryans, all Aryans. So how did not Germany? How did this become Nazi Germany? Because Russia, because of the bear. That's why. Yes, Aryans are not all white. Aryans are Hindus, Pakistan. Everybody's an Aryan but you. Everybody is an Aryan but the African American male and female. The people who families were genocided and pillaged and made to move off their land. That's what I'm talking about. What I said, Aryans ain't all white. They are not all white. This is a worldwide organization. This is a worldwide allegiance, worldwide legion, incorporated itself on and simulated and ran this simultaneously with us. So our demise is your birth. This is a government of necromancy. We're dead within that government. We are dead within that government. Because if we're not dead, then who's going to be dead so they can live? You ever seen that movie, They Live? Why do you think they were all dead in the glasses? Okay, are we there yet? Why do you think they were all dead when you put on the glasses? This is necromancy. It ain't just about the subliminal truth. It ain't just that. That's the real truth. How are these people dead through the glasses? Well, these the this is being ran off of necromancy. So you think these people are Aryans, so they get told artificial news, artificial construct. They think Elon Musk created electric vehicles. They think they really flying out of space. Like, I'm done talking to surrogates and robots. Press one, synthetic human beings. I'm cool. And you should be too. I don't want to I don't want to be caught up in a world that does not exist with you. I can just explain it from the level that I'm at, and hopefully those out there can understand. I can only be a helping hand to those who are sincere to themselves. Ain't nobody telling you this. Yale University just came out with the Black American Holocaust, genocide. Okay? So this is one of the most important things to me because I don't got no history. I got to know why we ain't got shit. I'm not going to sit around the house and not do nothing and use my time up. I get revenue easy out in the world. You know, I'm just something else. So it's an honor to teach this or to show a person's mindset and allow these type of interactions to occur because most people don't take advantage of it correctly. You know, all these Indians, all these people running around talking about they Indians are really like East Indian, which is like Hindu, which is like not. None of these people believe and know what the Republic is. All these people fought against the George. This Rico hit me up in this message this morning. He said, "Man, what if George ain't even real? Man, something is wrong with you individual. Y'all just like to wake up and live in wonder. I'm not doing that. I wake up and I get to the studies and I present it to the classroom the way I see fit. Period. I did a history. I did a history check. Where I talked about watch this. We talked about these balls going up years ago. Press one. Look. Told you. We already did it. In the Grand Red Army and the Red Sea is all my. Look, we talking about it right now. So let's take a look back in history. Wow. Wow, bruh. Wow. See how I do? I'm talking about the Red Army and all that. Let's go. They trying to say they put these in the ball. These go up 1,000 feet. Press one. Make more sense? 1,000 feet. Boom. I told y'all they was running these same propaganda. You can't do this. This is a year ago, Rico. This is a year ago. This is a year ago. This is before my time. This is before we even talking about Sputnik and this false propaganda of space and time. Let's take a look, Rico. Press one. Take care of, isn't this? Which you, it's all about us reaffirming and and actually using our, hypothesis in time to our benefit. We got to come up with as much information regarding the past as we can. And we all know that history repeats itself. Let me stop it right there. Oh, I'm brilliant, bro. Stop it. Stop it. Wow, I'm just proving the loop. I'm proving we in a loop. I'm proving they gotta keep us in the state of peril and confusion, running on this treadmill. We're trying to break free. Now let's keep going. I'm saying it here. If you don't believe in God right now, man, now's a fine time to find God. You better open up some scripture, go in your little room, ask him the right direction, say something. I know the Super Bowl was yesterday and the Eagles lost. That mean the Eagles, the American symbol, the eagle, it has fallen, nigga. That's what the fuck it mean. And the Red Sea is now present. Now the Pope said, wow, Kev is officially the brightest of them all. Wow. Sometimes I just sit back and admire my work and see how far we come. Press 1. Wow. It's all symbolic. I've been reading the code the whole time. Gonna send in the Grand Red Army and the Red Sea is, oh my goodness, if you don't believe in God right now, you feel me? What did my nigga Puerto Rican cuz used to say back then? You believe in God? Well, you better believe in KevRow. you believe in God? Yeah, just some other shit over here. Shout out to Puerto Rican cuz out there in the world somewhere cleaning carpet or some crazy shit. Talking somewhere in the world. I'm trying to tell you, there's some deep shit going on in the world, and black folk is just singing and dancing, worried about Rihanna's baby. Press 1 didn't even see what was going on, but we gonna talk about that later on KevRow at night. Press 1. Yeah, that's at 2-3 Eastern time. That's what night is. That bombs away right there, huh? You feel me? We gotta do our Bruh, this is how they was doing it.
Just total destruction, and the censorship was the thing that really stood out to me. Is that was like some man in the high castle stuff just coming from both sides. It's like they had the Pacific front and the Atlantic front, and they were just like, this is wild.
Have you ever thought you'd be thinking of history this way, Josh? Like
Hollywood.
Protection and flamethrower. Where we learned it from. I told you Hitler was here in America. All these little motherfuckers walking around with the little Mickey Mouse, Walt Disney, Press 1, Adolf Hitler, Vladimir Putin mustache. All of them. It wasn't just Hitler. You start looking at history, Hitler, you looking for where's Waldo. Because all of them is Hitler. Sheesh. They erased you and placed themselves as the British monarchy. You believe that? Listen to me. Get the microphone. Where my camera at? Press 1. They X'd you out and said, yeah, the British and this one, none of them was Brits. None of them was Englishmen. They all Poland, Russian, Eastern philosophy, Muslim, Arab, Asiatic, Indio, Spanish people. And Press 1, damn, they every damn thing. But you, they everything but you. Hit that like button and subscribe. Now, the way this balloon activity is going on, giving me concerns of the past, especially because of the way that these balloon objects is coming from Asia, being pushed by the Pacific, coming all the way around, like and the coming Sputnik, huh, y'all? But if you don't know history, you'd be like, what the fuck? It was coming all the way just like the Sputnik, right around. United States, Press 1. Message. How long they been causing fires? That's probably why all them fires be in California. Probably incendiary. Press 1. Huh. Kev's and incendiaries, man. But look how easy it is. They send it, ooh, and it blow right. Look, ain't this the path of Sputnik? Damn. Look. The Nazis wasn't in America. I find that very amusing. Watch this. And God is getting at y'all. You gotta look at the traffic pattern. Look. Asia. Look. They come all the way down. This is from the top view, y'all. All the way around. It's the same. Down. You see how that go? The wind. Pattern, check it out. Bro. The wind carry. Ooh. That's how easy it is. Y'all only look at the map from the Africa perspective, not knowing they closer to you than you Africa is. They can really go backward. Press 1. They can really go up Alaska, come on around, and go right there and get your ass. But they go all the way around. They say, press 1. That's why I just be tripping. Now that I be flying around America, I'm like, oh, why wasn't I always just going places? But everything in due time, you know? But look how easy it is. They send it, ooh, and it blow right there using the winds. Not your shit. You can't pick this shit up on radar. Press 1. Bam. This type of shit you got to get close to. They got them jets in the air now. They picking up everything right now. Biden been in a relationship with Ukraine and China and Japan and all nations. Nigga, stop, nigga. And this is shit you gotta worry about. Them causing a war and all of this shit with Iran. They already building up a drumbeat all over the damn place. Damn, we can't never stop. You know why? Because you're not in power. You got to get hold of this beast. And the way to get a hold of the beast is knowing your history. They did this to you before. Press 1. You don't believe me? Look. This is called the Nazi American Bund. Now let's take a listen, class. We went over this, okay? But my people don't know that this all happened. Hold up, bro. Did I line that up perfectly? Kids, did it happen? Right here, look. Facts. Right here, let's listen. American Nazis, right here, look.
Throughout the 1920s and 30s.
I told y'all they was doing this in America, bro. I'm telling you, I got a call team. They were doing this in America.
Hitler and the Nazi Party grew. Copycat organizations sprang up all over Europe, some of them actively supported by the Nazi Party in Germany, many based among the German communities outside the Reich. In Austria, a huge Nazi Party grew in the 1920s.
You notice they look like the Boy Scouts. I keep trying to tell you.
And was an important force in creating the Anschluss, the union with Germany that took place in 1938.
You know what the union is? The union with Germany that took place in 1938. Okay. You know what the union is? The union with Germany. And come on, bro. All that was here, bro. You were in the concentration camp. It's time you remember who you are. If you can't, that's on you. You must not. I don't know. But it's time to remember. By pulling up the facts, you got to do the research. You got to bring up you got to research how Russia Revolution is quite identical to American revolutions if you knew the blacks were in power. But let's keep going.
In the Sudetenland.
You know what that union is, right? You know what the logo of that union is? Red, white, and blue stars and stripes and shit.
The German-speaking parts of Czechoslovakia.
Look, remember the milkman and the polo thing? There wasn't no milkman. Y'all tripping.
The Sudeten German Home Front, which agitated the union with...
Nigga, look, they're Mormons. Look.
Other
Mormons. Look. Why you think y'all be looking at them like something ain't right? Why?
Type parties
Bro,
not made up.
Y'all would think these is Americans like they are. But they are also foreigners.
Speaking parts of Czechoslovakia.
Look. You see him? That's the devil. He got a mask on. You see it going behind his ear, right here? That's not even who they are. These are rat bastards. These are foreign armies, bro. Look. Oh my goodness. See? I got work for years to do. You see this? He said that's Fauci cousin. You damn right. Look. Oh wait.
Remember?
Straight. Oh. With young boys, passing them off as young boys.
For the milkman and the polo thing.
Oh,
Come
look
on,
at this
bro.
shit, y'all.
And the Sudeten-German Home Front, which agitated the Union.
Look at him. You wonder why they were so cruel to black people? Shit.
Germany.
Whoa.
Other Nazi
Mormons. Why do you think
Journey of Sin said that's them prosthetics. Yes, ma'am. You saw it, didn't you?
y'all be looking at them like something ain't right? What?
type parties were not made up of Germans, but instead homegrown ultra-nationalist organizations.
Candace Owens' husband, look.
In Britain, there was the British Union of Fascists, led by the charismatic former British government.
You see that lightning strike on his head? And I saw Satan as what? What? But anyway, you see that lightning strike on his head? They had those lightning strikes was military brigades on different lands. So you had the Wolf Pack here. The Timberwolves. You had a bunch of these. It wasn't no offshoot. They was really a war faction in Russia, Germany, everywhere. And you see they look kind of Turkish.
Minister Sir Oswald Mosley, which grew to a peak membership of around 50,000 followers in the mid-1930s.
That's a war.
There were, of course, many others. The United States, which had a large proportion of the population claiming descent from German immigrants.
Told you. Say it again, sir. Say it again. Let me rewind it just a little bit.
The United States, which had a large proportion of the population claiming descent from German immigrants, was no less susceptible to the attractions of Hitler and Nazism than the tumultuous period of the Great Depression and isolationist 1930s. The first overtly American Nazi organization was the rather harmless-sounding Friends of New Germany.
Friends of New Germany, New Jerusalem. Press one.
Oh my goodness. Look at the shit at the bottom. New Germany, Nazis, Italy, and the Union. Look. It's on your screen. It's on your screen. That's right. Inglorious Bastards. Say it with her. Inglorious Bastards. The real one. The real one, y'all. They need me distracted, don't they? I told you they need me distracted. You don't want to know because what they were doing. They were destroying everything. Let's get to it.
Now you see that flag right there? Ain't that the flag that be sitting on the side of trains and shit?
Told
You don't see that flag down there? And ain't that the Italian flag right next to it? So you got Italy, Nazism, and the new flag, which would be right here. You see it? So if you watch Man from the High Castle, you wondering how they going from American to French to Nazis. Like how? What do they mean by that? That's because they're all merging together, and that's their flag. Like USSR, Italy,
What the fuck?
Nazism, all that shit. You gotta think.
Founded in May 1933 after Deputy Führer Rudolf Hess had given his permission to Nazi Party member and U.S. immigrant Heinz Spanknöbel.
And now Heinz Spanknöbel was a German with American what? All right then. So Spitzenugel, press 1, he looked like a guard at the Kevney Christ. Does he not? Okay, all of this is going on in Germany against their own people. Come on, black people. Wait a minute, let me stop. Against their own people. Their own. And you just swooping in with white and black freedom fighters to free people. No. Okay, in Rockefeller schools of yes, in KevRow University, alternate universe. No. Okay, these people are the Germans, and they was here and there.
Spanknobel was a minister in the Seventh-day Adventist Church and worked for the Ford Motor Company.
Told
A
you.
7-day. He was a preacher as a 7-day Adventist.
We busted them. For his glory, we busted them. They are going to prison. I mean, I know they dead, but they got kids, and they're here. Fortune Nugel became Mr. Ralph McDonald in the Mormon Church. I told y'all they was Mormons. Wow. And who did that man say changed the records? The Latter-day Saints. The 7-day Advent, the Nazis, bro. You want to say it with me? The Nazis. No, what I'm doing is proving that we are in an Aryan Rand system, and we must be free from this Aryan Rand tyrannical Nazi war machine. We must separate from this. That's what I'm proving. There's no other way. I'm sent to prove to you you're in an Aryan race government, and you are used as collateral and a battery to charge. Goddamn. What's her name? Lady Liberty. Facts.
And it did worked as a what at the what Ford Motor Company. That already let you know. Already told you that's trading with the Enemy Act. They ain't no Spottenugel, and his American name was no goddamn Spottenugel. Press what? Ain't nobody in America, but that just let you know that Ford was up to no good. Anyway,
Like Romy wrong.
this all goes back to this. Okay, they all look like little Adolf Hitlers back there. All of them.
With the assistance of the German consul in New York City, Spanknobel formed the Friends, headquartered at Yorkville, Manhattan.
Friends, like the TV show. Okay. And where did that take place? In fucking Manhattan. Okay, so while you singing and fucking dancing, okay, you better get with this KevRow shit. Okay, we're the Friends. Well, it probably took place right there in Manhattan too. They just laughing on television, laughing at you. Thank you for being a friend. Ha ha, this is so funny.
Damn, bro.
Openly anti-Semitic, the
I know it hurt, but
organized
shit.
boycotts of Jewish-owned businesses in Yorkville and stirred up general trouble in New York. Spanknobel was deported in October 1933. He was later arrested by the Soviet NKVD in Germany in 1945 and died of starvation in a special camp in March 1947.
Oh, Lord have mercy. That looked like a whole KAY3 fraternity in a black southern fucking Georgia somewhere. Look at this.
Oh my goodness.
Look at this.
At the Krebsny
The
Christ.
US government began to investigate and monitor Nazi activities in America, but the Friends of New Germany never amounted to more than 10,000 members. It was wound up on Rudolf Hesse's explicit orders in December 1935. A new organization was founded in Buffalo, New York in March 1936, the German-American Bund. The leader was a former World War I German soldier and Nazi Party member,
You see this shit?
Fritz Kuhn, who had emigrated to the United States. In order to expand its message and membership, the German-American Bund followed the Nazi practice.
Now check this out. Your ass is at war with these people.
Told you.
Your
Listen.
ass just got out of war from the Eastern Front of World War One and shit.
Right.
And they over here doing what?
What?
Okay.
of subdividing the nation. section
That's
having
insane.
party subdivision.
Think about what I'm saying. They are here doing exactly what the television is saying they are doing in Europe at the same time. And you don't think them destroying all the black towns across America and all the states and taking all the wealth, who did that? They did. The United States government, in association with the Germans and Italy, who both owe us money. Now, do you understand that? KevRow University, I'm talking to my students now. You remember, we gave them Liberty bonds to build up Italy at the expense of Germany. And we were the profit. So they get together and go to war with you because they don't want to repay the debt. They owe you. We invested in Italy and Germany. It's all ours. That's ours. We invested in Italy and Germany. They have a loan they must pay back. You know who canceled the loan? The Russian Tsar, Teddy Roosevelt, and these people, Theodore Roosevelt. So you have to figure this out and hold this tyrannical, Germanic, Russian, Italy, German alliance, AfriCorps alliance accountable. Because accountable means to account for, to atone for the sin and judgment. We're going to win. We just can't allow time to be wasted by fake foreigners who pretend to know me and want me to go off and be some king somewhere. You can't offer me nothing. I'll tell you, like Jesus Christ told you himself, this ain't even yours, punk. You want me to do what? Open up the vault so you can shoot weapons at God? What you want me to do for you, Rico? You want me to show you for what? What you gonna do with this? Other people got so many different things to do with this, but it's all gonna run into a wall. Nobody, as I've proven to you, sisters and brothers, is gonna stand up for the black man in America against these Nazis, these Germanys, because they're all in bed with them. I'm the only free man, me. I'm the one with the big balls. That's me. Big G. Who gonna go against the German army? I see why niggas is scared. Me, that's me. Big dog. They don't. This is big. This is powerful. What I'm saying. It's so powerful that Yale University has a black genocide. Now, check this out, Amanda and the rest of my moderators. All we got to do now is put our minds together and create. Right here, KevRow. That's all you got to do. I've given all of the answers already. And even if they was to take this page, we know where to start from. We have a starting point. You got me? So it's nothing. We got a solid starting point. We know the propaganda used. We know the Aryans is also including the Asians. This was a hostile takeover of your homeland. Rockefeller, the Catholic Church, went into business and became the biggest real estate property owners in the world. Why? Because they just bombed you out and took all of your possessions. And then Russian Khazarian Jewish Ashkenazi sons of Gomer, as the Bible say, stole your identity and presented themselves up as the people that the Bible is calling Jews, who clearly in Deuteronomy it says what these people will be living like. And it's clear you guys are so clean and fresh and rich and empowered yourself after every Negro and these Orthodox Christians, and which are really Catholics, we just found out not only did Candace Owens not be truthful, she wasn't even a Donald Trump supporter. She didn't vote for Donald Trump. Not only that, do you know she been professing Jesus and she not even a Christian? She just became a Catholic. So these people are just liars, full of persona. It's not even to be argued with anymore. What's important is, this history, this knowledge and wisdom, and our redemption. Press 1, our redemption. The people that's in my class. Hit that like button. And I only got a few people. Don't be putting yourself and including yourself in places you don't belong. I only got a few people in my class. Facts. Ain't too much fooling you can do, because if you're not gonna be in the class on Patreon, don't think you're gonna be right here talking about, oh, press what I understand. I'm gonna make sure you don't understand because you ain't in class. I'm gonna make sure everybody know you bullshitting. Oh, that person right there, that person bullshitting. They're not even here. Okay? This is the second go around. We doing this for 2, 3, 4, 5 years in a row. Here we are again. The time loop. We back at the American, German, Italian Bund, full of Nazis. Then you bring up the civilian, U.S. German civilian corps. Then you got your Nazis and foreigners and Russian insurgents coming by way of the American Red Cross. Then the women and the men are all genocidal, homicidal maniacs here to exterminate you in a camp. Put you on a train some damn where. Yep. Why wouldn't that be true? Why wouldn't they do you like that? If we look back at our history, Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and other brothers had to stand up and literally put themselves out before these people went all out and turned insane. When it's time to fight the good fight, everybody going, what I've learned, Ali, is they're going to come up with a reason not to like me, why they don't deserve, they're going to make my show about them. When it's time to fight the good fight and do their research, they ain't going to show up. So this is where I'm staying, where they can't exist, in our trauma. And they want us to care about their trauma so bad. Rico want me to give a fuck about his trauma so bad, but nobody cares about our trauma. These people in other nations want us to care about them little Jews and them Palestinians so bad they holding on to your brain. Nobody cares about us. They all took part in the overthrow of us. The old boy got his ass up here and said, I'm the only one who can prove God and angels is real. If you don't get your Arabian Night looking ass away from my show, you can't prove a motherfucking thing other than your ass is an Aryan first. And the penitentiary rules are in full effect. First, I treat you like they do in the LA County Jail, nigga. With Kev, Mr. Gillespie, where you going? I'm going with the niggas. Yeah, I'm going with them niggas over there. Put me in a dorm with the rolling 60s. Put me in a Long Beach dorm with the insanes in the 20s. Put me in the Brim dorm. Put me in any dorm. Just put me with my niggas. Go ahead, B. You on the air.
Yes, sir. Kev.
What up?
Man, what's going on?
Talking big shit.
Man, supposed to, got to. Kev, you were showing on the video, you was talking about the Germans, all right, and then with these, what they call orbs or flying balloons. Man, I found something in 1937. It's talking about them blowing up stuff. Called the Hindenburg disaster, and this was over in New York. All right, I'm gonna read this real quick. The height they were using what they call airships It says the Hindenburg disaster was an airship accident that happened on May 6, 1937, in New Jersey, Manchester, New Jersey. The LZ 129 was a German commercial passenger carrying rigid airship. It says the lead airship of the Hindenburg class, the longest class of flying machines, and the longest airship that by enveloped volume. Okay, they got pictures of it blowing up. And this is a German ship. I'm like, what is a German ship doing flying in the American airspace? So, and it was hydrogen. So you talking about the hydrogen bomb? They were flying big bombs, basically.
Yes, sir.
And letting it loose. That's proof right there. They flying big bombs and letting it loose. I'm gonna send you a picture of it. Man, that's huge. And with them, what you showing, like the ability of them to go like 1,000 feet. That's perfect right there. That's it right there. That's just one that they got many of them, but that's one right there where they showing, okay, they got the capability and they did it. They actually blew it up. They gon'
Wait. You saying they purposely did it?
Well, they not saying that, but why would I put hydrogen, which is flammable, with we thinking hot air. They using hydrogen. That's a bomb. It's a big bomb.
That's the bomb then.
Yes, sir. If I fill a big balloon with hydrogen.
Oh, that's the Manhattan Project.
Yes, sir.
Oh my goodness.
They called it, and they even said it's from Germany. I'm about to send you this right now. When you see it blowing, it's blowing up. It ain't just on fire. It's a explosion. So that's the proof of it right there. Hold on, I'm sending it to you right now. But yeah, Kev, all this stuff they talking about, they got to tell on themselves because it is what it is. I just sent it to you. That's a bomb. That ain't just catching on fire. It's exploding. You even see the stuff like jumping off of it, like boom. Just sent it to you. I was like, wow, bro. You already told us.
So it's like a hydrogen bomb.
Yes, sir. It's exactly what it is because it's filled with hydrogen. That's what they're using. Now, when you ask about the cause, it says they just call it a fire. Cause of fire during landing, okay? But it says exact cause undetermined. I know it's not undetermined because you don't want it to be, but common sense tell you if I fill up a balloon with hydrogen, that's flammable. That's a bomb.
And why they acting like they don't got space flight or got airplanes, or why they making this shit seem like it was just a flying discovery at the time and all this other goofy shit? It's just a way of telling there was a hydrogen bomb here flying over us.
Right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Flying over us. And I'm gonna look more into airships and see how many. But why would I let a foreign country fly over here with flammable material? That makes no sense unless we all together. And
unless they have especially something like that, like something slow moving and damn.
Right. Well, we could just pinpoint where we want it, and then do your thing. You know, it was intentional. Now, even what you talking about them communicating, and you mentioned that line, that Russia America telegraph. They can't deny it because even they got something called the red telephone that use that line. I'm gonna read this real quick. The Moscow Washington hotline, formerly known in the United States as the Washington Moscow direct communication link. So this is what they call it, direct communication link. It's a system that allows direct communication between leaders of the United States and the Russian Federation, formerly known as the Soviet Union. They saying that the hotline was established in 1962, but what you brought out already, it had been established in the 1800s. So
They was lying the whole time. They was always in treaty violation and always in direct hidden contact with Russia.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Okay. The hotline, it said link the Pentagon with the Kremlin. All right. Historically, was the Soviet Communist Party leadership across the square of the Kremlin itself. Although in popular culture it is known as the red telephone. The hotline was never a telephone line. It says, and no red phone was used. It says the first implications use teletype equipment shifted to a fax phone in 1986. Now they going into that, and then they also said in 2008, Moscow Washington hotline has been secured computer link over which messages are exchanged by a secure line of email. Now even that, they talking about all this stuff, Russia communicating with America and all. Y'all been had this hotline. Like,
Facts.
it's a hotline.
They're backdating their crimes, sir.
Yes, sir.
They're backlogging the crime, and then they're saying, "Oh no, that was in 1934, or that was 19." Nigga, this shit been in direct lines since in the 1800s.
Yes, sir. So it's like they got a line of communication already. They giving a false sense of what they really doing. And I'm like, man, that's wild. So everything you saying is spot on. They even admit it by their own admission.
So the space program was a facade.
Yes, sir. They already they were showing like Sputnik and then these different things, satellites they put in, and they show the direction that it goes. It goes in the same, pretty much the same direction as these lines that are already on ground under the ocean that they already have.
So oh my goodness. So really, we just been daydreaming right there with them in outer space, and really all this has been done on the ground where real power is, especially salt water. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Now, even the orbs, what they call orbs, yeah, they put balloons and stuff in the air, but they not going way off in the outer space. It's local. They probably got some form of communication, but everything is based on the ground. Even a ground station. That's why they have to have a ground station. When it comes to then these big companies, AT&T. When you were showing yesterday, AT&T, they part of the ground. These ground wires and everything, the line of communication. You got Bell, which is AT&T.
Yes.
I'm like, man, that's everything right there. So when they saying they communicating through satellites, the ground people is the same people. You got NASA, and then you got AT&T. You got the Bell Corporation. They are together.
Yes.
It's the same thing.
Yes.
Yes, sir. And I'm like, wow, bro, that Project Echo and everything, they use it. All right, a balloon or whatnot, but yeah, you still got to convey the messages through the ground. That's how they tapped in.
Yes.
That's exactly how they tapped in. So I'm like, man, everything you saying is true. Bell Labs. Now, with them putting these balloons up and like you showed about Sputnik, they got an article that I saw. I'm pulling it up right now. where they saying that, oh, look, here it go right here. They saying they putting up their own moon. Now, when I looked at this newspaper article, this was back in, what is this, 1958? Pretty much the same travel where this stuff was going is going to show the same spot that they got for the ground wires. I call them the ground wires, but like you were showing about them having underground lines. I'm sending that to you right now. So yeah, it's all our warfare. All our warfare.
Oh yeah, because I was just sent. Hold on, let me get this correct. I was just sent something very in particular. If people want to look at the screen, people out there, it's 100 and something people up in here. Make sure each one of y'all support this broadcast and support it. Go put $1 in the Cash App. Cash tag is Gills Gang. We're gonna start this this month off correctly. I want to show people exactly what this is. Okay. You know that balloon you said, what'd you call it, the Heidenberg?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I got it over a burning city and all these lights. Maybe they were using these to bomb people.
And that's what I think, Kel.
Yes.
Like, that's easy for them to get it done.
Yeah.
You're not going to hear it coming. Yeah, nothing. It's just going to be like everything normal. Ooh, look. I'm looking at an airplane flying over me. So I'm just imagining this flying over me and then boom.
Napalm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Boom.
just straight napalmish TNT bombs going on.
Yes, sir.
Maybe they
Like,
thought
man.
this was a part of the World's Fair. Maybe they seen these at the World's Fair and
because it's like, like even looking at airplanes as a youngster, or if they got balloons, it's like, oh, look, it's in the air. The next thing you know, boom, they done tow you up. It's very much. I'm looking like, man, they could have done that pretty easily, and you wouldn't even hear it coming. All right, I just sent you that newspaper article where it's showing the underground wires and the satellites and where they went. Then I just sent you a map of them with the underground wires. So they got something called the Eastern Telegraph Company on this last picture, and then it's the same route pretty much. They going the same route, similar route.
okay, let me bring that up.
So they can communicate land, air, and sea. Land, air, and sea. That's how I see it. So with them having a standing army coming over here as workers, I'm trying to put it all together in my brain, like you saying, a standing army coming over here as workers with a union. Then you got ground people already over here.
Already stationed.
Telecommunication company. Say it again?
They're already stationed.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So they develop these companies, and then that's how they operate. They go ahead on their missions and operate. Boom, we already here. So each city.
So the machine, the
turn
company is the machine.
Yes, sir.
Because,
From
yeah.
NASA, the Bell Company, and I keep thinking about Baal when I say that.
Yeah, because it is.
Yeah, it is. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Like, man, they handle it. Remember they had to break them up. They had what they call that when
A monopoly?
A monopoly. They had to break them up.
Who had to break them up?
So they saying the federal government.
No, they
but
are them.
just
They
don't-
they did was
Exactly.
they that's what the king had, monopoly. So they took over his shit, and that's how that played out.
Yes, sir. I'm like, man, I can see, like, man, like on all fronts. They hitting you on the ground. They hitting you in the air. They giving you false perceptions. So it's a whole whole augmented reality, but it's a real war on you, everybody else. Even when you showed yesterday, they said 50 nations hooked up to these things. Just like you said.
How many? They said what?
They said 50 nations. Even when they was talking about satellites, they was talking about it's
For this.
all hooked up. Yeah.
Yes.
We all hooked up to the telephone. We all hooked up to communicating through the ground. We all communicating through air, or what they call orbit, which is more local, more closer than what we think. They all together. So all of this war.
Yeah, you ever seen all those bells and those different things or something like that? Well, you know what I found out about the bell is that the bell is actually a bomb. It's an incendiary. And they were using, they were dropping these from the ships above.
Oh, that makes sense too.
Yeah, they was dropping these bell bombs from the ship. Now, what this does is start fires everywhere. They're incendiaries. We're proving all things, bro. Okay?
Yes, sir.
And I just want you to know that, King. This is a different day. Different Kev. Details of the Zeppelin's incendiary bombs. You ever heard of Led Zeppelin?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Zeppelin's incendiary bombs look just like the atom bomb. It burned them up.
Wow.
And they dropped these atom incendiary bombs called the Zeppelin incendiary bombs. Do your research. And these things are the things that's inside the bell, remember? They're like hanging there, ding dong, ding dong. So you got to picture exactly what this shit.
Man, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Then boom.
Boom. They were using guerrilla tactics to burn up everything. They call them air raids. Thank you, Shiva, for that one. They call them air raids.
Man, next thing you know, all the stuff dropping down from the sky. It's too late. It's done. Boom, boom. And then the diagram where you showed the explosion from like 1,000 feet, and then they had a trajectory of flight, and they got it down.
It's the same thing?
Pretty much. Yes, sir. That's what I think about when I'm thinking about the flight trajectory, and then they showing like the exact timing of them, you know, of the bombing. I'm like, wow, bro. You breaking down exactly what was done.
Yes, sir. As we should. That's our job to do. Is to it's our duty.
What happened to them?
Yeah, man. They really thought I was here to be a clown or something for them. And really I just needed to see how fake they were in this world and how fake it truly is. This is gonna shock a lot of people. Right here.
Man, bro.
Hold up.
I'm looking at the picture. I'm looking at this picture on the screen. Man, look how many of these things they got just right there. If they start dropping them, they will tear up cities quickly. You be devastated. You don't know what hit you. And then the survivors, they already got ground troops. That's how they thinking about the Creven Chris. Boom. Putting our people right back, putting our people in asylums after that.
Oh, concentration camps.
That's the word, concentration camps. And I'm even thinking.
Look, immigration restriction, you let them in with the bomb on their head. Close to the gate. Close the gate. Immigration. It's always been this, bro. It's always been this. It's about burning you up. You want to know how you burned up? They were dropping these on you. And they incendiaries, which means these are chemical war. They stick to the body and burn you up, incinerate you. On the spot.
Man.
Yeah, you're incinerated. It burns all over your body and they eat you alive. So you got a bunch of people at that time running around like zombies being put down by the military. It just wasn't them doing that. The ugliness of it all is they bombed overhead and they came in with military and militia and slaughtered all undesirables. Now, after something like this, everybody's an undesirable.
Exactly.
Yes.
That makes sense. Even with the gas mask, we using every form, chemical
Facts.
warfare,
Facts.
blowing you up.
Yes.
So, like, boom, after the destruction, after we done burnt as many up as we can, boom, we're gonna hit you with the chemicals. Then, boom, the troops. We come down and grab up whoever survived or
Facts.
whatnot. I can see it.
Because the bombs
Play out.
coming in, and then they got to get rid of these black people who own stuff.
And another thing, like, even I looked up.
This wasn't
Portland,
about
Oregon,
racism.
they had-
This was a total annihilation.
Everything that's established already, we gotta destroy it. We gotta destroy it.
And they was going in people's homes, stealing all of their belongings.
Man, Kill. I even think about they got Portland, Oregon. They was talking about how Portland actually had like buildings with brass roofs and stuff. After all the destruction to that city, when I think about Oregon, I think about of course George. After all the destruction, they was wondering like how these cities had like brass roofs and they still were there. And they just rebuilt around these things. That makes sense. If we burn you up, that metal, that part lasts. So they just kept what they wanted. And man, bro, this is crazy.
They kept
It
all
ain't
the
crazy.
mines, all the minerals, all the banks, all the gold, all the what's the name, and gave you black status as a nation and said you were dead in law, never to be claimed. This is the truth. And gave Charles Dawes, the Dawes Report, the Dawes Act, took our stuff away. The vagrancy laws made us criminals. 13th and 14th Amendments came in and made us slaves, and we have been there ever since. Dead. And about to we waking up right now. We waking up right now.
Sure.
We waking up
Like,
right
man,
now.
David.
Yeah.
Dead in law.
Yes.
Man,
J.P. Morgan and them
man,
became the
they
financiers of the
under-
world. All that was, you are the beneficiaries of the kings and Queen Charlotte and shit. We are Victorians, bro. We got a different bloodline, B. We are different, bro. We're not Aryans, bro. Everybody's an
Not at
Aryan,
all.
bro.
And then even when you look up Aryan,
That's an alien.
it's an alien. Yes, sir. Man, that's crazy. You got the aliens, and then their languages. When you press the Aryans and their languages,
Yeah.
when they talk about Indo-European,
Yeah.
that covers Asia and all of that.
Bro.
So when they saying Asia, when we like you showed us Africa just a corporation, that covers Asia too. So
There's no
that's
Africa.
all
That's
of it.
Asia.
yes, sir.
Africa,
That's Asia, yes, sir.
Africa ain't real. That's Asia.
Yes, sir. Like they try to say about the Middle East. Well, look, you got East and West Asia. That's it. That's East and West Asia.
The
We
Middle
talking about
East,
East India.
the Middle East cannot even exist. Where's the middle of a direction, bro?
There is none. It's either East or West. You can't be in the middle. That's nowhere. We made it up. Another illusion. That's something else too. Like when they explain these things to you in school, they give you a picture of.
You got to
oh,
remember,
this
the
is what it
military
is.
bring this stuff up. Your school is brought up by who? NASA created that shit. So the military-industrial complex made that shit up.
For real. So the curriculum that you was taught was already
So
what
serve
they
it.
want you to believe.
Yeah, of course. Everybody's in the matrix. If you don't acknowledge this as the truth, your ass is a denier of Christ, nigga. You're a Christ denier.
For For real.
You don't. You
never
don't
be able to
think. You don't think.
do
Right.
that.
You don't think God will raise me up. Let me ask y'all. Y'all don't think God raised me up, huh? To do this. Y'all gotta be. You gotta be
I know.
insane. You gotta be insane to believe this ain't the best time ever to be alive.
Yes, sir. I believe it. Yes, sir. I know it. It is what it is. Nobody else doing that work or haven't been doing this work, so they can copy all they want to. Man, it's just too much. They still don't even. A lot of the stuff, Kill, you getting people ready for.
Oh yeah, they getting a prep.
Wild moment every time.
Oh
It's
yeah.
a bunch of wild moments. It gets greater and greater. They can't compete with that. They playing. They playing for real. You just explained. You just showed a video some years ago and explained it, and then boom, you look it up. Boom, it's right there. You talking about the telephone lines and everything. Boom, it's right there with them having communication. They even saying it. They proving you right.
Tell them they proving me right.
The Russian American hotline, red line, hotline bling. Y'all like music? There you go, right there. And reality, like man, bro. So I mean, if they want to deny, that's on them. If they want to play, that's on them. But we ain't gonna get nowhere with no plan. We gotta be for real. Like man, look, Kev ain't telling us no lie. Look it up. See if his work ain't real. It's real. You just went in, boom. I come right on the air, and boom, it's right there. It's right there. I know others see it. People hitting you always do because it's the truth. It's the truth. Yes, sir.
So they burnt all these towns up.
Yes, sir. Burn them up. And they, what did they say? I'm trying to think what they said. They said something about, it was the three things to do with what they did in 1898 insurrection. They said three things. Something, assimilate. Dang, I'll look that up again. Somebody probably know what I'm talking about. One of the things was assimilate. So after the destruction, they just, we just gonna take over what's already here.
Yep.
And then backdate ourselves and make ourselves look like we great. Basically,
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
Yep. Like man, that's easy work, man. In the last 100, 200 years, all these great inventions, and we did this and that, and that makes sense. It's already done.
Yeah.
And that same spirit of jealousy and the copycat mentality, that's what they do. That's what these people do.
That's what machines and signals do.
Yes, sir.
The workers of this machine.
They have no they're not original.
That's right.
Yeah. Not original at all.
So now we got Bones, we got their products, we got the Inglorious Bastards stealing stuff, we got their propaganda, we got them admitting they were sending satellites by way of Sputnik to communicate one another while the Cold Wars and the World Wars is going on. This is what's amazing to me because I'm asking as a young man, where are we during this time? And it turns out we've been burned up.
Burn up and POW.
Shit, our grandmamas here was lucky. They was brought up under the Catholic Church and stuff like this, under the Advent. Luckily, they survived.
Man, that's gotta be.
They don't want to remember.
Right.
They can't remember. Shit, they don't want to. Shit. Sheesh, that was
That's
terrible.
traumatic.
That's the most traumatic. The average male can't even deal with the small trauma that he got, and let alone asking these women who made it through.
Exactly.
That's right.
And that's. You will suffer memory loss or choose to have memory loss.
Traumatic event is so powerful, it causes memory loss. Yeah, and in that memory loss, we will insert a new holographic memory, one that doesn't exist. That way, when their brain tries to associate and remember, it would only remember a slave boat and not the truth. Go ahead.
I'm even thinking like I told you before, I got in the wreck. I was out 3 days. I still to this day do not remember that. That's very traumatic, you know?
Yes.
Like physical that
Yes.
was a physical thing. I see what it done to my mind. I can remember everything before that, everything after that, but I cannot remember. Even on the street where it actually happened, I drive by, I'm thinking one day it's gonna hit me. And it's gone. It's gone. I do not remember that. So everything you saying is true. That's the truth. A real traumatic situation, especially like what we talking about and what you showing about what happened. Man, bruh, the mind is like, nah, shut down. It's too traumatic.
Yeah, it is shut down.
Yeah, sir. It's shut down. Like, man, that's like, let me survive.
Facts. Let me have a drink.
Your people.
Let me
Exactly.
smoke
To
some.
meet people. For real.
Let me pretend
Yes, sir.
wasn't affected by that, and that continues on. But the truth of the matter is, this is in our faces, and it's up to us, the children of, and we're talking 4 generations down the line. This generation hate God so much and don't understand why this happened.
For real.
You feel me?
Broke the rules. And you break the rules, it's a consequence.
That's
to
right.
it.
But not only that, it ain't even that. It's about the love of God, and you know, everybody didn't break the rules. You know,
Yes, sir.
and
Yes, sir.
and everybody has a zealous heart. So yes, people break the rules and people lose contrast of life and things of this nature. That does not tell a foreign nation to come and slaughter and burn up and incinerate and holocaust a whole
Yes,
civilization.
sir. And kill. And
Yes,
that's
we're
illegal.
cursed. Yes, our people is in a bad situation. Yes, for the love of money, fuck us up. Yes, we don't eat the right vegetables all the time. Yes, there's so many things you can put on us. And yes, we eat all that up. But one thing that does not allow, even in court and law, is to incinerate whole civilizations because they're under judgment of their God.
Yes, sir.
You see?
That crime, that don't fit the punishment. That punishment don't fit the crime at all. You're not legally able to genocide people, even by their rules.
It's against it's against human rights, bro.
Yes, sir.
And they are in violation of human rights.
Yes,
This
sir.
is
You're not allowed to do that.
And you're not even alive and able to do that as a corporation. That exposes that you're just foreigners in an invading army. That's all it's going to expose.
Now that's illegal. Now, in any country you go to, they still talking about this supposed thing that happened in Germany, and they getting all this sympathy, but they will not tell the story of what they people have done.
It's not for them to tell the story. It's for me.
Right. Yes, sir. Straight up.
Yeah, it's for me to wipe the floor with their history and say in your face.
Yes, sir.
And say we still here and say we babies, kids. I told you this thought process won't die. I told you, champ.
Multiply.
We multiply, champion. There's a bunch of mini-me's running around right now. Right now. And we going to show that y'all bombed black people. Oh, I want to make this very clear. You incinerated and stacked piles and piles of their bones on top of each other. I want to make this very clear. And murdered millions of black Americans and caused a Holocaust. That's why judgment is on you. That's why. And that's why the Queen of England is dead. That's why the whole thing is going to shit, is because y'all have caused and burned the organic tissue of the people of this land. That's why. And you're a liar, and you're going to burn in hell just as y'all did to our forefathers when you crucified them. and holocausted them. They don't know God. They just want to pretend
Not
they
at all.
believe in Jesus Christ. But Jesus Christ is against them. Jesus Christ, Russia said, is a black man. Press one. He's a black man. Oh, y'all done did all this to the king's people and put them in servitude, and you think you're gonna say sorry and say we moved on with such grace? Such grace. Oh no, we
Oh,
moved
that's
on.
cool, but
Jay-Z
you still
said
gotta
it.
take accountability.
No. How you gonna accountability for this? You can't.
Get the same thing,
You can't.
judgment. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
you can't. You got to make atonement. You just walk right into the pit yourself. There is no suit you can put on. You can't slick your hair back. There's not a Thanksgiving, birthday, a football game, and none of this that can offset judgment. You can't fool yourself up out of an ass whooping. You can't pretend you don't hear me. You don't hear this knowledge and wisdom. You can't pretend that. It's over. I ain't graduated. Remember this, B. I ain't graduated shit, and I know this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They can't even contend. Out of
on.
all the schools, they trying to jump on what you said.
Come on.
Was it Yale University? Like,
Because they know it's coming.
Let's,
They know it's here. They
Yes,
know it's
sir.
coming. The truth is here, champ. They know.
Yes, sir.
Oh my goodness, this one person is talking about the Black Holocaust. He got the flames up. What's the name of the airship that blew up and burned everybody up? Incendiary.
the Heidenberg.
That's right, the
They-
Heidelberg.
I know this. How is this happening? But they know.
See?
They, like you said before, they know prophecy. They know what's about to happen.
That's right.
They can't offset. They cannot offset.
No, they know what the 0 point is.
They definitely know.
They know.
watch-
Hey, listen. They know what the center of the universe is. They know I'm self-centered. They know I'm in my ego. They know this. They know I'm self-centered. They know this shit. Press one. Oh, they know it.
What
They-
did you say? You deserve
everything. That's right. That's right. I've worked hard, bro,
Everything.
to prove these points that I'm making. Can't nobody say I gave this guy nothing. You helped other people understand. Yeah. But it wasn't you over there. It's people who I give that to, who I believe helped encourage certain conversations that took us to other levels.
Right. But the whole point is, even those people, including myself, wouldn't even be thinking about none of this if you hadn't have brought it up. You brought it up and brought it to our attention and told us, gave assignments. Hey, do your homework, look it up. All that's doing is proving what you said. So I can't sit up here, and nobody else can't sit up here and take credit. You wasn't even thinking about it. Trust me, everybody was stuck in the same regular old mindset as usual. So yes, sir, you're correct about that.
Well said. Well
That's
said.
just the truth. So they can play in their mind, but when it come down to it, that is what it is. If you had something that if a person got something that's like they're trying to challenge, if it was a challenge, you would have already said it. You can go back years. It's there.
Right. You can't. Right.
There.
Right. Say it again. If this, you can't even challenge Kev. Kev got tapes. He just play, and he said it a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. You wasn't around.
And you even lost the computer.
Tell him again, B. Tell him again, B.
You lost the computer.
I lost
They
my
took your
computer. The LAPD took my computer. I had to start everything over. I lost my whole life. Gee, my apartment,
Yes, sir.
my brand new Xbox. They was cashing my checks. Press one. They was taking my clothes, all my suit and ties I bought. They took that. They took every damn thing. Press one. And I'm still here, B.
Yes, sir.
That's why I say I'm a thug.
cannot stop
Because I come from the gutter and I'm still here.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Tupac
Yes, sir.
Shakur. Because I'm still here, nigga. That's why.
Still. Okay, like, man, everything you doing is encouragement to go harder,
That's right.
study harder, look. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it real. You're gonna get stumped sometimes because this information, it's new to us. But don't stop. Hey, and then I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do as much as I can.
Remember, your
He's my
head,
boy.
your mind is supposed to hurt, bro. Remember this. Remember this to all the students. Your mind is supposed to hurt when you're using it.
Straight up. Straight up. Straight up. Like you working out and using the muscle, yeah, you
Right.
like,
The
dang,
fuck is you in the gym
for
for?
real. That's it.
Hey, listen.
You know, you working.
These are gains. Those are muscle gains. You know what you do? Drink water. Make sure you eat something. You know, watch a little thing on TV or something, calm your brain down. You know, take a nap. You feel me? Play a video game. Find a friend. Somebody to talk to. Barbecue. Do something. Nigga, with your time.
Yeah, come right back.
Come
Go
right
right back. For real.
Facts.
What hey Kel, straight up, I be like, man, this man is infatigable for real. I already know, but this like, dang.
What is that?
They don't have to work ethic like you. They were infatigable. I remember we talked about without fatigue. This man, you be going in. They can't keep up. They like, man, you're not gonna really be able to keep up. They underestimate, and that's where they go wrong. They think it's a game and it's a joke, and they underestimate. But nah, y'all not understanding. They will. Stay tuned. I'm gonna keep it real, kid. I'm like, man, this man is infatigable. This information is just.
Oh, yeah, they can't stop me, bro. They can't, what Lil Wayne say? They can't stop me even if they stopped me. Best one.
Straight up. It's already done. Like, man, ain't got to get me. And you saying, man, I'm a time traveler. And they thinking on the wrong level.
Yeah.
But you proving it. Boom, I'm going to show a video from back here. Everything that you're saying, boom, right here. You just breaking it down even more. Like, even more so the common man can understand. That's the whole point, man.
Now, all these black, how they get all these bones? How they do all this? Well, if you was left behind all the destruction and you had to pick it up, wouldn't you be taking pictures like this? Wouldn't the secret be skull and bones? Wouldn't the pack be skull and bones? Remember the genocide? Remember what we did for this to prosper? For this to be a reality? Remember these movies that they come out with and they say these little kids is complaining about what it took and all this was a lie and nigga, your life is riding on that lie. Your house that you live in, your credit that you have is riding on that lie. I'd advise you to shut the fuck up.
For real, it's not real.
No, it don't even matter. Let them believe it. I advise them to just shut the fuck up. I need the new white folk to stop blaming everything on the conspiracy, because if your great-grandpappy would have told you the truth, he would have told you we genocided all the black people and buried and took their bones up out of here.
For real. Allah is a conspiracy.
That's right.
Dang. That is a conspiracy. Wow, man.
We are all in a pact. We all in a friendship, a death pact, to shut the fuck up and run these United Nations over here and run these people into the ground until their inheritance is all ours.
Man, so, wow. The biggest stuff ever in the history of the world.
And the genocide.
Biggest genocide
That's right. Ever
in the history of the
world.
You don't compare. So when you hear, when Kev is bringing it out, you can't even compare. Like you said, you just got to shut the hell up. Because what's going to happen is your hand going to be exposed. You're a part of it.
That's right.
You like it or not. Whether you did it directly or not. Yeah, you got to suffer. You're a machinist.
You're a mason.
Yes,
you're a builder of machine that took over these people's shit. You're a builder of the grand. You give the corpse life, which is necromancy. You are the problem.
And the thought, the train of thought you have
to talk about
the problem.
That's right.
They believe in the false light. The real light is true. That's what we getting right here is the truth. All this other stuff is Twilight. You in the Twilight Zone. This is like the TV show.
That's right.
You trip.
Now all these
That's
bones
straight
got to be
Twilight
grinded
Zone.
up and turned into crystals and diamonds. You understand what I'm saying? That's a lot of money right there
We create a whole industry on necromancy.
of
Wow.
necromancy. Say it again. They created a whole. Come on, man. Y'all better talk about the Jews and the Caribbeans in the early 1940s. Man, they was burning us up. These people was destroying our legacy and creating a whole. They stole the bones and created a whole jewelry market with God's jewels, bro. Which is his children, bro. You are the Jews, bro.
Yeah.
And then what I mean by jewel, I mean God's crown, like his reason. You are his people.
Yes, sir.
They made jewelry out of you.
Yes, sir. That's it.
That's why they need to go home and get off our land. That's why the fight is that important. To know it this way, B. To know when they did this and why. Everybody want to talk about the Masons and all this. Man, why did they do this? It's Morocco, the friendship treaty with the Moors. They are the Moors, bro. They gave the Pope and them friendship treaty. Who the biggest Moor on the planet, B?
The Pope.
Okay, then.
The Pope. Venetian seafarer.
Okay, they work for the Pope.
Yes, sir.
They work for the devil,
Man.
for Satan, for the kingdom of hell.
Bull by all worship.
That's right.
Bull.
That's right.
Half bull. Yes, sir. Like, wow, man. And why would y'all have bones and stuff in these catacombs? Y'all think it's safe to just, they thought it was safe to just tell on it, but that's good. Now, when spirit of truth on the earth, you have no deniability, no plausible deniability.
Because they're busted. Because they're busted. Look, they're in the pictures right here. That's not Genghis Khan in these pictures.
Man, busted.
That's not Genghis Khan. They said Genghis Khan did this. No, that's you. The 50 niggas, like Tupac said.
Yes, sir. They busted. Ain't no denying it. Straight pictures. It ain't going away. Damn, man. That's what a Homo sapien would do. Be a straight animal to do something like that.
A human being, huh?
That's a human being. A monster.
Only a monster
Inc.
would do
like
that.
a monster. For real. Dang, bro. That's psycho. That's everything. They unfit.
That's
they
right.
unfit to be produced.
That's right.
With the trust.
Say it again. Say it
They
again.
are incompetent.
They unfit, they
They are
incompetent, and they have, what did they do with the trust of the people?
They misappropriated, making unjust funds from it. They are, they misuse.
Watch, it's gonna come up.
Tax.
No, but what is it about the trust that's so important?
Oh, they have to tap into the trust because the trust is everything.
No, but you know the saying. Not that.
Okay.
They have lost the confidence of the people for the trust.
Right. We don't trust you.
We don't trust you.
Straight up. We do not trust you.
We don't
Yes,
trust
sir.
you. Kevin Gillespie
trust you.
doesn't trust you, and neither do nobody else.
You are not trustworthy.
You are not trustworthy. You're not a truthful
You
person.
prove.
You're a liar.
You're a liar. You can't even be able to trust.
You can't. It's impossible because you are a liar. And you're untrustworthy. Ali Weir said they are in breach of trust. You see that?
Yes, sir.
But once they are in breach of trust, they are
No longer eligible.
That's right. They no longer what?
They are no longer eligible
Yeah.
to be in that. For real, you fired. For real.
Now
Never
watch.
can
Now
do
watch
it
how the
again.
world work around that.
They about to crumble now.
What I say?
They crumbling already.
They already crumbling. They already crumbling.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Everywhere.
We ain't got nothing. We ain't got no weapons or nothing.
Yeah, we do, Kill.
No, but I'm saying we don't have no weapons or nothing.
No. Yeah, no physical weapons. Yes, sir. You right. You
Nothing.
right. All right. Yes, sir.
So Skull
You
and
are
Bones
correct.
is a genocidal, homicidal contract between all nations to live as you here in a metaverse kind of thing.
Dang, identity theft.
Identity theft. There's a lot of things there. That's right.
There's so many crimes. All crimes.
These are
pretty much.
crimes
Every
against humanity.
They can't get out of that one. That's a definite. Definite. Wow. Man, this is Mac. I see why I say, man, they sins don't reach up to the heavens. There's just so much. They stacked it up. Even when we was reading about what do they call that? Stacking up felonies. What's the term? But basically, they just stacked up all kind of crimes. It's just so many they can't get out of, and there's no statute of limitation on murder. So all them bones was under murder. There's no statute of limitation for that. You stuck with it.
So the people who were murdered in the early 1900s, lives can be avenged.
Yes, sir. Because those who still benefiting from the trust, they are liable. They assume the position after they forefathers left. They still assuming the position. They doing the same thing, so they're guilty too. Yes, sir. They definitely guilty.
We should sue the United States government, huh? I should sue them.
All governments, them. Start with them,
Germany?
and then all other.
No, we'll
Germany,
start. Germany, Italy, the corporation,
the Vatican,
the Vatican,
every
Rome.
corporation associated.
That's right. The 501(c)(3) church homicidal unit that pops up on the scene. We want the 7-day the Mormons who changed the law. We want everything.
Change. The people who stole the name.
Yeah, we want the reparations for the dolls. We want the
family,
names restored. We want the Stannises. We want the Grand Tours back, the Princeps. We want the Republic. We want the King in place. We want do away with democracy and Democrats and anything in opposition to the free people of this land. Now that's different.
Restore. We want
Now that hit
restoration. Restore the republic. Yes, sir. That hit different.
The Grand Republic,
Definitely
the
does.
Continental Republic, the Republic of George Washington.
sir.
Oh, of course, yes. See, that hit different
Yes,
when you
sir.
got black men saying, restore. Yeah, he was the first slave owner. Good. Restore that one. Restore that power right there.
Exactly.
Yeah, the one where he was the
Exactly.
slave owner and gave it all to his
Giving y'all
workers.
jobs.
Yeah, give him that. Get that one.
For real, I got freedom to everybody, and yeah, we're not gonna get caught up in them terms.
That's right.
We got workers. You can call them workers.
Workers.
'Cause
You
that's
can
what
call
we
them
are.
indentured workers,
Let's
people
keep
who to
them
return home.
indentured
You can
workers.
call them people with green cards. You can call them with. I'm not in no emotional tug with none of y'all. The truth is the
For
truth.
real.
I'm not tugged by these words of immigrants and alien and no, it's not because just because I'm an African American or you see me as black, you think you can argue with me. You can't.
For real. Don't say nothing about
Don't
slavery.
then
none
go
of
take
that.
your ass back
You
to
ain't
your
gonna
little
get it
housekeeping job and finish mopping floors and cleaning dressers for white people and Asian people. Don't even come over here and contend with me. Go ahead, champ.
Straight up, because you're going to find out your history.
That's really what they
Gonna be
mad
the
at.
truth.
They finding out their history. They not really no dang Mexicans and El Salvadorans. Use a bunch of Polish people from Eastern Europe, Romans, and y'all. That's why you serve the Catholic Church. Romanovs, Rama people. Y'all all from Europe, and I used to think y'all was little bad, little pretty, little Mexican things, and nice little Hispanic little broads. But now I don't believe nothing nobody say. Only us. I'm black, bro. When I go to JLB, they say in California, where you gonna go, and what race are you gonna go in? And I say, do I say I'm white? No.
Nah, you gotta say, and I'm black. And I'm black.
Nigga.
Bliggity.
Nigga, what? Nigga? And give me my clothes and quit asking me dumb questions. Put me here with the wolves. So that's how it is in here. But what the fuck I gotta be scared of my people for? Cause they got mean faces and muscles and numbers on their arms. I was raised around these niggas.
For real. These my people.
These my
Let me go
people.
over here with
That's
them.
why I can talk this shit, and they gotta sit back like El Chuco and take it. These my niggas.
Right.
Yeah, they a little upset because I speak the truth, but nigga, they soon realize like Kev is like a big bro. Like I had a father in my life, and he can't sugarcoat
Right.
shit. You feel me?
You understand them. I
Facts.
understand what a lot of the hurt and then these things
Facts.
come from. Cause I was right there with y'all.
Facts.
I feel you, Kev.
Facts,
That's
bro.
what it is.
Facts.
I understand why you got.
I know you got. I know why you got a gun in your waistline for real, in real life.
For real. For real, Kev. The Universe 25 is real.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. Ain't nobody speaking for us like that, but you, Kev.
They can't speak for us. They are entertainers, and all had to go through ritualistic chakra openings behavior at Puff Daddy house, and they lost their souls and their holes to Satan. That's why they can't speak for you. God has made me the speaker. I can speak. They can't say nothing.
Yes, sir. They gotta be silent. Wow, you right.
The best they gonna get is Cat Williams with a woke chain on, looking for a Netflix deal. Press one. You better go to Shay Shay or something.
You're not gonna get nothing out of that. But what you getting, some chaos.
That's what they love.
Real.
See, you got people whose names is written in the book of life, and people whose names is written in the book of these people who told them what their book is. I'm telling you, from my perspective, they've told you what their Jesus and all of this means is God real stuff. They don't have no real Jesus Christ. You believed in Christ more than them.
For real. For real. They don't believe you wouldn't act like that. And
If they knew Christ, they'd tell the truth.
For real. Spirit and truth. They ain't got it. They ain't got it.
They not Adam.
Right.
They ain't got nothing to do with the inheritance. They ain't got no spirit or no truth. Deb somewhere in Florida trying to muster up some the last of her little press boy. She ain't never seen no shit like this. And you can't? Yeah, right. That's because your name ain't written. Deb probably feels something in her soul. Probably say, hell no, I'm a white woman who come from this. I stand with Mr. Gillespie. We stole everything from George Washington. And she proud, too. Woo!
Straight up. And you can
I just want to give her a hug. Huh?
I said, you can tell she be coming from the heart. That
Right.
ain't no act.
Rico don't get
ain't
that.
no act.
Rico, I can't fake what I do. You can't fake that, bro.
You can't. You cannot do that.
Ain't no YouTuber over here got no white woman no more. Oh, and I don't even got her. That's her. Her heart, bro. That's her
For real, you
heart.
didn't go find me. Dale
Found
you.
me, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You ain't find, like, man, look, all of us were sent, Dale. The ones with true heart were
Yeah.
sent.
Deb will tell you straight up. Deb will tell you straight up. This is what we talking about. Ain't no other people on this earth talking about what really happened to us. Y'all better stop taking this information for granted and use your time wisely. This is why Skull and Bones is real. This is why. Y'all want to live in the illusion of the Illuminati and the great. It ain't that complicated. Really, if you spend as much time as you do thinking about the damn Illuminati and think about your history, you will find they ass. Like I did.
Exactly. They give you some old, straight up, kill. They give you some old gray area, like some spooky.
Yeah.
Nah, it can be broke down.
Yeah.
But you done it.
Yeah.
You done it, doing it, and will do it.
That's right.
I'm telling you, man.
I'm
Ain't
breaking
no
down a
damn,
whole
like,
genocide with like 4 or 5 pictures and a great conversation. B talked about this flying bomb around and stuff like that. Bruh, I can't help it y'all holocausted my people. I can't help it because my last name Gillespie and God chose me to speak for all those who forgotten their inheritance and their inheritance and their heritage. We can watch Lovecraft and watch the people burn up at the end every 10, 20 years. And we can know that this is true, that they were dropping these bombs on us this way.
Exactly. I have to know it's true. It's meant to be right now.
Right now.
Everybody that's hearing it to know right now.
The truth don't sugarcoat nothing. Man, if y'all knew me in real life growing up, y'all be like, where did Kev get this inner strength from? Because I was the shyest kid growing up. I'm telling you, the people who know me in my life like, wait a minute, what the fuck is this? It's because, bro, the truth will set you free. That's why.
Yes, sir. Amen to that. For real. And it ain't no holding back once you know the truth. It ain't no holding back. Man, I can't hold back. Man, I'm learning what I learned. Man, I can't be quiet. That make me feel bad, Kill. I'm going to keep it real. Like, man, I can't know this and hold back. Kill showing up. I got to tell you. Boom. It ain't, look.
I'll be selfish to hold that in.
That's too selfish.
That's selfish.
That's too selfish. Whether you understand what I'm saying or not, you heard it at least. At least that's something, Man, you giving it to the people like it's supposed to be.
Maybe that'll spark that seed that's supposed to hatch. That unborn child Tupac was talking about. That letter up the river. Inside the bottle, hope somebody gets it.
Boom, it's gonna be something that happen or they see like, oh snap, that light bulb gonna go off if it's meant to. It's gonna go off. There's nothing you can do because it's the truth. And when you look into it, that's the kind of person I am anyway. Hey, I gotta look and see. All right, you said blah blah blah. All right, let me look. Oh snap, is this the truth? I'm real enough to drop the fake. I gotta drop that. That ain't real. Why I'm gonna waste my time? I don't know how long God got me down here. I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do.
Do you think it was tracks, air tracks in the air? So them airplanes, them big bombs will be airships. You know how submarines was on tracks back in the day? I didn't know this. I think that these were on tracks up in the air, and they blew it up, and the tracks all fell apart, like all over the place, like boom, boom. It was just blowing up, helium everywhere, just boom, shockwaves. Because I'm looking at it, and I'm seeing the incendiary. I'm looking at this shit like, what in God's name? And in fact, I think that's that thing in Seattle as well. Go ahead.
They actually said that. I'm going back to where they said airships. Exactly that.
Yeah, they could have been on some rails, like that stuff that hold trolleys, that wire that go across the top, and then they hold it up using a balloon, giving it that appearance like it's flying, but it's really not. It's really on like that, man. Cause I'm saying, they're nothing but 1,000 feet up. And I remember them building Epcot. They were building things like that so people can travel over and can see.
Exactly. Wow. That's man.
Because how many people would fit in this? A whole train, like a ride, like a roller coaster or some shit.
Right.
Not that many people fit on this. It wasn't holding 250 people like our airplanes and shit. 150 people.
No, and then I'm thinking we just load up where we want to go. Boom on that mud. That's what it's for. Meaning, they even. All right, I'm trying to look and see if I can see anything about tracks. Now, even with this air thing, they got airships. Oh, all right, I'm gonna read this part. The prospect of airships as bombers had been recognized in Europe well before the airships were brought up to task.
Told you.
Man, so look, that's premeditated.
Told you.
H.G. Wells, The War in the Air, 1908, describes the obliteration of entire fleets and cities by airship attack. The Italian.
What? Wait. So they was already doing this. They wrote this down.
They wrote it down like it's like some fiction. Like
That's
fake
right,
book, but
because it is. Their dream world is our real world, and our real world is a fantasy to them. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. All right. It says the Italian forces became the first to use the.
Oh, wait, before you get started, somebody said like a sky railway. Yes, like a sky rail, like a real monorail, like a sky railway. But go ahead.
They said the Italians said for military purpose during the Italian-Turkish War. The first bombing mission became flown on March the 10th.
Now, when they show us these flicks of these little wars back then, they only show these people with swords and little rifles. They ain't never showed no goddamn air fleet bombing shit. Let's go.
Never. The Germans,
That's
the
right.
French, the Italians, all they naming themselves, all use airships for scouting,
Told
for
you.
tactical bombing
Told you.
roles early in the war.
Damn, Boy Scouts, Man Scouts. I told you.
Boy Scouts, Buffalo Soldiers.
Buffalo Soldiers, Dreadlock
Yes,
Rock
sir.
Stars.
Yes, sir. It
Come
said,
on, we got y'all. Wait a minute, boy, hold the beat. We got y'all shit
All right.
held hostage up here on the stage right now. If anybody got something to say, I heard y'all bitch asses was in the crowd tonight. Bring y'all weak asses information down to the stage. Come get this verbal beat down. And back to the music. Go ahead, B.
yes, sir. It says, straight up. Start over. Yes,
This is
sir.
a battle rap to me.
Sure.
No, come on with it. Y'all wanted Neo and the Professor X and friends? Come get this shit. Come on.
The Germans, the French,
Come on.
and Italians
Come on.
all used airships for scouting and tactical bombing roles early in the war.
Now hold that
They
beat.
all learned.
Now hold that beat. Now
Yes, sir.
didn't you read that there was the same three that made up the American government? That was the same people who was on the
Yes,
shell.
sir.
Italy, Germany, and then who else?
And
Americans. France.
Yes, sir.
So all of them together.
And-
Oh, gotcha.
Hey, Kev, and when it comes to the money after the war, that's who split the money up. We
Because
passed
they
it on
owed us
debt.
the money.
Right.
Yes.
God, dog. Yes, sir. Wow. That's,
Remember the Liberty bonds, and the Liberty was all for the rebuilding of both nations after both wars. They literally didn't want to pay back to the freedmen banks. And them and J.P. Morgan and Russians and Germany and Italy, they all came against America. Then they inverted the history and said the axis of evil was Nazis. Go ahead.
yes, sir. That's the theater of war stuff right
Yeah.
there.
There you go.
Okay. All right. They all learned the airships they said were too vulnerable for operation over the front. The decision to end operation in direct support of armies was made by 1917. But man, that's it right there. It says many German militaries believe that they found the idle weapon with they found the idle weapon with which to counterattack British naval superiority and strike at Britain itself, while more realistic airship advocates believe the Zeppelin's value was as a long-range scout attack craft for naval operations. Now, Kel, they saying naval operations. What does it make? That don't make sense neither. Talking about the air, they talking about Navy.
Right.
Yeah, Kel, I'm like, man, are they? But anyway, they just proved exactly what you were saying. Their name, right there, their name, who was using this and everything. So I'm like, wow, bro, that's them right there. Exact people who you named with stole the bonds, passed the debt around because they do not want to pay.
Yes.
They rather blow everything up.
Now and then they use you as collateral for the debt they didn't pay back. So you'll always be indebted to who?
To them.
Yeah, because you never woke up and realized that they owe you. See, Tyreek and the Sheet and these niggas, they just want a check from these niggas. No, they owe us everything.
Everything.
They owe us everything. You don't ask for a check from serial killers and murderers. First, you convict them.
For real.
Of the crime you saying they convicted, unless you don't have a crime. Then you sit your funny-looking self down.
For real. You stuck on their timeline.
Well, yeah. If you're not talking about no crime, then what you talking about? If you're not trying to hold nobody accountable at the supreme level, what is you talking about? You a supreme being for? Huh? You can't be a supreme being or a God if you can't go to God to subdue your enemy. Press one. You just talking.
Sir.
You just talk. See, see, God raised me up. See, God raised me up. Not one nigga can say he raised me up. God raised me up and put me before you. Not the other way around. Before you. So this is real. And I just want to let people know, nobody else is talking about this. Just me and B and my team. Go ahead, B.
Yeah, Kel. Man, all of this is you proving it. Now, they try to say that they use helium. But see, what I know about helium is not flammable at all, Kel. So, boom.
So they lied. They said they stopped using helium and started using what?
Hydrogen.
Yes.
So these are hydrogen bombs.
They wrote it in history like it's something, like it was normal. Oh, yeah, no, this is a hydrogen bomb. And when it blew up 1,000 feet over different cities in America, this is what you ended up with.
Really?
A hydrogen bomb's going off. And that looked like Seattle in the distance. That will make this Washington.
Yes, sir.
See? That'd be north of south. See? See? The real Washington problem.
Man.
That's probably why they said that atomic bomb or hydrogen bomb went off in Washington, on the West Coast.
Right. They gotta do it say it backwards.
Yeah. Because Washington, D.C. wasn't incorporated. See? Here we go. The real Washington is on the West Coast. Who founded Washington?
That would be George Washington Gillespie.
That's enough.
See?
See? No, it was St. Thomas Gillespie.
Who? Who? You don't know.
Oh my goodness! I tell you, y'all better leave me alone. You ain't gonna do nothing but make me mad and prove more. Even though I proved it already and proved it all, we gonna prove more.
Look, Kel, I looked up hydrogen bomb or H bomb. They call it a thermonuclear weapon.
Damn.
A fusion
A
It
what?
says is a thermonuclear weapon,
Go ahead.
a fusion weapon, hydrogen bomb, H bomb
So it's a
is
fusion bomb.
a second. Exactly. They naming it.
Oh, go
So
ahead.
this is nuclear. This is nuclear. It ain't just no fire. This is nuclear.
This is nuclear.
Okay. Yes, sir. All right. It says nuclear weapon design. Its greater sophistication affords its vast, greater destruction power than first generation nuclear bombs. A more compact size, a lower mass, or a combination of these benefits. Characteristics of nuclear fusion reactions make possible the use of non-fissile, non-fissile, depleted uranium. Oh snap!
I told you.
Uranium.
This is Chernobyl,
Yes,
bro.
sir.
This is why they did
Yes, sir.
Fallout, bro. I told y'all they nuclear bombed atom. That's the atom bomb, bro.
For real.
Bruh.
As the weapon's main fuel, thus allowing more efficient use of scarce fissile material use as uranium-235, plutonium-239.
Oh my
The
goodness.
first full-scale thermonuclear test
Oh,
was carried out in the United States. They put in 1952.
this what?
And
What?
yes, sir. But see, remember they said second generation.
Yeah, so it was already.
And
That's right. They remember
you
those don't
got it.
exist because they out of time. That don't happen. That who? What black people? Not real. See, Einstein and what black people? They wasn't here. Remember? But make sure these stories add up. Go ahead, King.
For real, they already told us these second generation. So, boom, we already understand that y'all already was doing this. Okay. It says the concept since been employed by most of the world's nuclear powers in the design of their weapons. They going into the design of the second generation, the basic diagram of thermonuclear weapons. A fission, primary stage, B, fusion, secondary stage, high explosive lenses. All right, number one, high explosive lenses. Number two, uranium 238, lined with barium reactor. Number three, a vacuum levitating core. Okay. Number four, tritium, boost gas, blue with plutonium or uranium hollow core. Five, radiation channel filled with polycitrin foam. Six, pusher or
I
tap.
bet you they put
Seven.
all these ingredients in the food and the humanitarian efforts at the Red Cross and drugged everybody there as well. So the people who went looking for aid at these camps and these Red Crosses, I bet you they was put to death. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Plutonium, spark plug. Number 9, radiation case. Confines thermal X-rays with reflection. So I'm like, man, all right. They talking about Martin fusion weapons. Essentially consist of two main components: a nuclear fission primary stage, fueled by uranium and plutonium, and a separate nuclear fusion secondary stage containing thermonuclear fuel, heavy isotopes of hydrogen. What is this? Deuteronium. That's what it's called. Tritonium as a core element of, or in modern weapons, lithium deuteride. For this reason, thermonuclear weapons are often often colloquial called hydrogen bombs, H bombs. So a fusion explosion begins with the detonation of fission primary stage. Its temperature soars past 100 million kelvins, which is KEV. Yes, sir. Causing it to glow intensely with thermal vortex radiation.
Oh, remember that
These
dude,
X-
Meteorite Man?
Yeah, he was
Ah.
glow. Medium man like a mug.
Hey, but what was his nationality?
He was African American.
Go ahead,
Yes,
bro.
sir.
Go ahead.
These X-rays flood the void. The radiation channel often filled with polystyrene foam, often the primary and secondary assemblies placed within an enclosure called a radiation cap, which confines the X-ray energy and resists its outward pressure. The distance separating two assemblies assures that the debris fragments from the fission primary, which is moved much more slowly than the X-ray protons, cannot disassemble the secondary before the fusion explosion runs to complication. So they even saying that it's debris. That's what we saw, even with the seeing stuff blowing, like dissipating, like going, exploding off of that thing. And it wasn't just no fire. You could see it on that picture. All right, they talk about the different stages of it. Let's see, history, the idea, and this in the United States. They got it in the United States, the Soviet Union. They got history in China, France, India, so the 50 nation, Israel, North Korea. So they are part of this. They wouldn't be practicing it. Oh, wow. The idea of a thermonuclear fission, and this is the United States, ignited by a smaller fission bomb, was first proposed by Enrico Fermi.
Wait, say it again.
Right.
Say it again.
It says the first idea of a thermonuclear fission bomb ignited by a smaller fission bomb was first proposed by Enrico Fermi. It says to his colleague Edward Teller, when they were talking at Columbia University, September 1941, at the start of what would become the Manhattan Project. There we go again, the Manhattan Project. All right, Teller spent much of the Manhattan Project attempting to figure out how to make the design work, preparing it over work on the atom bomb. And over the last year of the project as assigned exclusively to the task. However, once World War II ended, there was little impetus to devote many resources to the super, as it is known. Wow, they call it the super. The first atomic bomb test by the Soviet Union in 1949 came earlier than expected by America, and over the next several months, there was an intense debate within the U.S. government, military, scientific communities regarding whether to proceed with development of far more powerful super. They call it the super. Now, Kel, this is all the same time when they are coming up with this space exploration. So there is no difference. The
Yeah,
The
that's what I'm
bomb
saying.
development.
Bomb
Yes,
development
sir.
is the space exploration. Thank you.
That's,
Thank you.
yes, sir.
This is the
That's
same
it
time.
right there.
NASA is the Russians, is the space America's space program. They're all in
Yes,
collusion,
sir.
and this has been going. Oh my goodness! Thank you for
And yes, sir. That's
that.
very clear. I'm looking like this is the same time. There is no difference.
That's the only point I'm proving today is that America is bouncing that signal. Russia, the German bond, Nazi America, all of these is the creation, and NASA and these space programs and the theater of war is all the Manhattan Project, and it has to keep us in a state of peril, in a afraid mindset, and to
Yes,
have
sir.
even power over us, because the truth is with us. The truth is on our side. We didn't do
Right.
anything wrong. There's no criminal um, um, activity there. We're not being accused of anything.
Exactly.
I don't lose anything. I don't go to jail,
Exactly.
nigga. You know, this isn't that type of bargain. They are in trouble for everything they've done. And this is proven. This isn't like some small talk where, we're just talking things. What I'm showing you is this is a strong legal case. It's very strong.
It is. It is because the timeline for both situations is all one. Like you got the war, you got the wars, you got the space exploration, what they're talking about, and then you got the invention of the bomb. And the second, I gotta say
Well,
that again.
before all that,
The
we got.
second generation-
Go ahead. The second generation. The
This
first
is
one
the
is dealing with the.
second generation.
And
So you
what year
already
was this?
did it.
What year was this? These were the
The
40s
second
and
generation.
50s, right?
Yes, sir.
No, the first ones had to be
40s
with
and
the
50s.
with the dolls and how they got them
18.
names and all that. It had to be the first generation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So all of this weapons race and this space race is all the same.
Yep.
It's all the same. Now, they got all right, Oppenheimer come into place. All right. Their report of general this is the debate covered matters that were alternatively strategic, pragmatic, and moral. All right. In their report of General Adversary Committee, a General Adversary Committee,
Uh-huh.
Robert Oppenheimer and colleagues concluded that the extreme danger to mankind inherent in the possible wholly outweighs on any military advantages, despite the objections raised on January 31st, 1950. President Harry S. Truman made the decision to go forward with the development of the new weapon. And they got a picture exploding. It says Operation Castle, thermonuclear test. Castle Romeo shot. They're not telling where that is, though. Operation Castle. Operation Castle was a United States series of high-yield, high-energy nuclear testing by Joint Task Force at Bikini Atoll on March 1954, followed Operation Upshot, Nathol, and Operation Teapot. Bikini Atoll, what is that?
You know what, B? These people don't even got
Yes,
no
sir.
religion. Their
No,
religion
they don't have
is the
any.
destruction of Adam and how to control the black man.
Everything.
Yeah, they don't have
You
no.
right, kid.
They don't have no religion. Their science is just about the bomb. It's all about creating chemicals
Killing.
and
Yeah.
synthetic chemicals and things of this nature. It's not of anything of life. That's why I'm saying their whole
Right.
religion, everything that these people put their faith in was all just about the destruction of the old republic, the king, the people, destroying them, genociding them. This is their religion, and they are mad. I don't mean mad like angry. I mean cannibals, like mad.
Vicious.
Yeah, vicious. Human
Mad
beings.
for free.
Yeah,
Human being.
monsters.
Monster.
Yes, and then they pretend, oh hi, and hey, what's up? And the real thing is, everybody is living in a false reality and a false information with a bunch of make believe stuff to cover up the genocide that they have taken part in. Their forefathers took part in the Black Holocaust here in America.
Yes, sir. They are definitely guilty.
All of this
Yeah,
is to
yeah.
hide the Black Holocaust. Baseball, football, their history, it's all a lie. The theoretical concepts of war, what they think God is, the law, the amended law, everything is just one
Everything.
big lie. Go ahead.
Like old school say, when you lie, you gotta keep lying and keep up that first lie.
And you got to make
And
up
you
more
gonna
what?
slip up. More lies.
Mhm.
That's it. More lies and deception. The truth don't gotta trip. It's the truth. So man, that's why they getting busted in their own lies and deception. Like wow, bro. They sat up here and said they told us Oppenheimer was the first bomb. But then you said these are second generation
Facts.
things. So
Facts.
you learned, now we got you. Now that proves the 1800s
Bingo.
with George and everybody before how y'all destroyed. Y'all were using earlier models. All this Oppenheimer thing is just
And the earlier
thing.
models are just before rocket propelled rockets. They were dropping them out
Yes,
out
sir.
those hot air balloons. See, that couldn't
Yes,
be
sir.
picked up on radar. You see how cold these motherfuckers
all.
are?
Man, bro. That's crazy, man. That's real wild, kid.
But-
it's
but we gonna go back into that.
around.
It's 3 hours and 35 seconds in. I got about 4 hours per show if it goes that far. Anything else, bro? You can keep going. I'm here chilling, enjoying. I want to thank the people for contributing to today's program. It is what it is. Shout out to Pardonetha for that $1, Paul Hamilton for that 10, Double X2 for that 10, Teresa for that 20, Mrs. Hornet, Ali Ware, Amanda, Boo Lynn. Shout out to you, Magni Holmes. Shout out to Rado from Connecticut, Christopher Cook, Mrs. Ford, Deborah Nichols, Jason Harris, Cedric Jefferson, students of the day. Go ahead, B.
Yes, sir. Well, Kel, that's all I got for right now. I'm gonna get ready to get on the mission, but it's always this KevRow or nothing.
Thank you, champ.
Yes, sir.
My man came in today with the excellent conversation dealing with this. And if you look on this picture, you can kind of see a distorted face. You can kind of see a distorted face right here. That look like a whole distorted face. I ain't gonna lie to you. That look like a big bald person. They go to ear right there. They go to half an eye right there. Same thing they probably saw behind that moon. Back with a vengeance. Look at that. What is this? Ooh. Y'all done blew the wrong shit up, didn't you? And I heard that they was using baby embryos to make these things. I'm not sure, but from what I heard they were using black babies for this whole thing. They were using children. Listen to me. They were using children for the atom bomb. Test tube babies. Melanated, carbon-based, organic, coal-like material. Press 1, and that's probably why judgment is on you. You know, I got people, like I said, it's a tough thing to do, but somebody got to do it. I'd like to thank y'all for coming to class today. Thank my contributors. If you haven't been on my Cash App, get over there. My cash tag is Gills Gang. Starting this off right. We got coming up tonight on at the Bungalows on Channel 54. I got my bobblehead.